as Hugin Peterson because she logged on as me as well, but the other person that you know is not Hugin Peterson is Mrs. Nocon, our amazing our amazing counselor, and she works side by side with me every single week, and with the teachers, and we have the support of PTA in putting on a real spectacular kindness week so that we can also keep it going. You know, there's also that trick of, you know, this was amazing, but how can we also keep it going after, you know, our week is up? And she always has strategies to for teachers to help keep it going.
Well, thank you for that nice introduction. I just want to apologize up front if you hear barking in the background. I'm actually coffee talking from home today. So typically I'm not on campus on Fridays, and I have a new puppy in the house, so I'm downstairs with them. But I just wanted to share, I'm really excited about next week is our official kindness week. The theme is It's Cool to Be Kind. And working in collaboration with PTA and Mrs. Peterson and Kathy Seckington and our student council, I think we've been able to really collaborate and put together something really special. So I just wanted to go over just like the week at a glance at first, and I'll go into some more details about some of these activities. But we're kicking off the week with a big outdoor assembly on Monday, and Happiness Is Now, who I'll describe more on the next slide, is a group that I've worked with at a few other schools in Poway Unified, including Design 39 and Mesa Verde Middle School. And so I think it's going to be really spectacular for the kids. We're also going to have a bunch of student-led activities going on throughout the week, a kindness bingo challenge, lunchtime activities, spirit days. You can see in the top right corner, our student council stayed after school on a couple of days to put together posters and signage that are going to be featured throughout the campus. We also have a group of kids that are going to be our kindness ninjas that are going to be doing school-wide surprises throughout the week. And then finally, and I think most importantly, is we're also going to be having some kindness lessons going on. We are a No Place for Hate school, which means that we participate in 3 pre-approved activities throughout the school year that promotes acceptance and inclusion. And this is going to be our last activity for this school year. And the classrooms are going to have a choice of either reading a book called Each Kindness or Invisible Boy. And then we've provided some discussion questions and activities. So lots going on. I think on our next slide, we talk a little bit more about Happiness Is Now. So this is Danny Batimana. He actually lives in the Orange County area, and he's going to be coming down to do 3 assemblies. So we're going to have TK through 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5. And Danny has worked with Disney and the Lakers and the Association for Student Leadership in California. And he provides a really interactive experience for kids. That's what he calls it. It's not just an assembly or a one-off type of activity. It's really an experience where they walk away feeling really great. They're going to have a great time, but also he has some very powerful messaging about the power of kindness and the ripple effect that it can have. And the other thing is that Danny gets all the staff up and involved as well. So I think it's going to be a real morale booster for us on campus and for our students. And I hope that everyone's going to enjoy it. And then some other exciting news is that I was able to work with BBD Embroidery. They're a business, a small local business that does customized t-shirts and signage and so forth. And they have donated t-shirts for every staff member on campus. So after this Zoom today, I'm going to pick up 100 t-shirts from them, and they're going to be distributed today so that all of our staff is going to be wearing our It's Cool to Be Kind t-shirts on Monday. And they also donated 10 student shirts for our Kindness Ninjas. So they're going to be wearing those throughout the week. So just really building a strong sense, continuing to build a strong sense of community on campus. And then this is a taste of what the Kindness Ninjas are going to be doing. So, you know, not to give too much away, but every student on campus is going to receive this card. And the idea is that this is just the start, that, you know, you're being given the opportunity, you're giving, someone's doing an act of kindness for you. And now what can you go out in the world and do and have this long-term powerful impact? So kindness is not just a week. It's really about our campus culture and the messaging that has been interwoven throughout our entire school year. So most of you on this call probably already know that this year, Second Step, which is a social emotional learning curriculum, is being delivered primarily by teachers. And what this allows us to do is to do it more often and more consistently. And Second Step, it says it right there, it's not just better students, it's better people. So we know that when students are feeling good emotionally and they have strong social skills, they're able to learn better. And so coincidentally, the unit that is being introduced this week and next week is all about empathy and kindness. So it just aligns really well. And then on the left, you see an acronym that I think is really powerful, think before you speak. So I recently did some lessons in all of the second and third grade classrooms on this topic, that if we use this strategy, if we think about, is what I'm about to say true, helpful, inspiring, necessary, and kind, I think we can prevent a lot of problems. Or if we have a small problem, we keep it small and we're able to problem solve. And then in the middle, of course, is Mrs. Peterson, who you also probably are aware that she has started a kindness ticket program. This is something for specifically for our noon duties and ESS staff to use with kids to positively enforce kind behavior, whether that's out in the playground or just in the after school program as well. So that's kind of a summary of our kindness week. If anyone has any questions.
You know, the wonderful thing I'm going to add there, I know that, okay, I know the ages of Brenda's kids. You know, the wonderful conversations in some of the classrooms are things like, you know, how we say, oh, that's easy. But, you know, we've had some conversations about, for some people, it's not easy. And every time that they hear others say that's easy, it's when they're struggling with it, it's hard. Or, you know, when you're the first to be done, I'm done. You know, and sometimes some of our students need a lot of extra time, and we want to make sure that they feel valued and they can take their time. So there's been a lot of, you know, everyday examples that I could give you where, you know, we don't think of it as intentionally being mean, but really having the kids use that think strategy about true, helpful, inspiring, necessary, and kind. You know, we have going back to, you know, our diverse abilities on campus. You know, we always make sure we focus on that. So thank you, Ms. Nocon. Yes, Nicole.
I had a quick question. Is there a reason why the think discussion didn't happen at other grade levels?
So actually, that's a really good question. So in the upper grades, I actually went in and addressed think as well, but I also dug in more into, I don't like to call it bullying prevention because I feel like that word bully gets used too often, but I also just went in and helped to define the difference between rude, conflict, mean, and bullying. And we talked a lot about relational aggression, and we did a very like interactive activity, role plays, and so forth. So that topic, you know, was covered. And then through the second step lessons, it's a similar messaging is happening as well. So we're just kind of going in and I'm, you know, a part-time employee. So I go in and try to reinforce where I can. So that messaging has been spread across the campus.
Okay, excellent. I just wanted to make sure because I know I have a fourth grader, so and I know there's some situations going on where kiddos just don't understand like fat and vegan and vegetarian and these concepts that you hear in social media or pop up on TV, and they just throw these terms around like they know what they are when they really have no understanding, and it can really be hurtful to others in their peer groups. So I just wanted to make sure that those grade levels didn't get shortchanged in this topic, because I think they
Yes.
can really use a lot of it. And I heard there was some conflict between fifth graders and third graders in regards to like kickball or something like this. So just wanted to make sure that I shared that with you.
Yes, and please ask your student, your child, about The Secret Bully. That's the book that we read as a class, and it was, I think, really powerful. And I wish parents could have been flies on the wall to hear, some of the questions that kids had, like, how do I know? What if I'm the one doing the bullying? Or what can I do to help stop it? So we talked a lot about also what the difference between being a bystander and an upstander. And I've been going in the classrooms all year. So like I said, this is our third No Place for Hate activity, but we've also gone in and done other work on empathy and the power of our words and how that can impact others. So yeah, no grade has been neglected in this regard.
Excellent. Thank you so much for your time.
Yes, you're welcome.
Well, I know just from my perspective, I have a kindergartner and I see the second step worksheet that she brings home. And, I don't know if it's a girl thing or a kindergarten thing, but it's like every day there's something going on and we have a conversation. And then I hear my third grade son say, he used that acronym the other day with my kindergartner, like, did you think before you said something? And he was saying, like, was it kind? And here I am thinking, I know about that, but I didn't realize that you guys were going through that. So now I know. So I appreciate you sharing this today. It's helpful.
I think even as adults, Brenda, I mean, we've been working together now all year long, that we sometimes forget to use that too, that is it true,
Absolutely.
helpful, inspiring, necessary, and kind. And, we work, there's a lot of things that we work together just to constantly communicate and bring concerns up. We know that, that phrase, the honeymoon's over, meaning that the kids are fully back on campus, and they have been, and we're seeing those struggles in the playground. Yes, Nicole, we are. And, we're guiding the parents to understand it's not anyone's fault. Sometimes we grew up in determining, oh, it's his fault, it's her fault. And Ms. Nokan is so masterful at really guiding the kids. It's not about fault. We're all making mistakes, and we experience success together. We experience mistakes together, and how to learn and grow from that. So it's been really powerful conversations all the way from kinder up to fifth graders. And it's not just hearing it from one place, but really a school-wide. And then, like you, Brenda, having those conversations at home too.
Yeah.
Any other questions or thoughts or concerns? I mean, we're heading to the last. All right, Nicole, lay it on us.
Jade has a question next.
One more feedback. At least I've heard from several upper class, like fourth and fifth graders, that they don't feel like those kindness cards that are given out are considered a lot for the upper grades, that they see a lot of the like TKs and lower grades receiving them, and that they feel like maybe they're getting, I don't know, shortchanged. And maybe it's just a select group of kiddos that I've come in contact with, and I'm sure that's not going on, but just to know that that's a perception that's out there, and just to be aware.
Thanks, Nicole, for sharing that. Yeah, when I do take out my kindness cards, I do see a ton more in primary, but you also have to, there's that other part of it, in that the younger ones are constantly, not that we want them to go out of their way for the ticket to be kind, but they are, I mean, it's so motivating for them. They're at the end of lunch, they're scanning around the tables. I'm going to pick up extra trash. I'm going to be super kind to the custodian. And, the fourth and fifth grade mentality is like, I'm not going to do that stuff to earn a kindness card, so it goes both ways, Nicole. It's a little bit that, like, I'm a little too cool for that, but then when the card comes around, they do realize, oh gosh, there's a couple kids who stand up and have it, and they're like, darn, I should have, when someone pointed out, oh, and it really was for the noon duty to try to, the teachers have a special relationship with kids and are able to motivate, inspire, but our noon duties are just there out there saying, stop running, stop doing, they're constantly doing the stop. And we wanted to, PTA and us, we decided together, give them an opportunity to not be the person who's the bad guy with the kids and saying stop or don't do that. But hey, great job, great job letting all your friends go first, or, not crowding in. When everyone else is crowding in, they kind of look for the kid who's I'm just gonna go to the back. It's no need to. So our noon duties have been just seeking opportunities to find those kids. So, but yes, it's an ever evolving program where we'll have to keep working at it. Thank you, Nicole.
It almost seems like these coffee talks are an opportunity for us parents to learn more about what's going on, because I didn't even know about that. The kindness cards are so pretty, but now I can ask Diego or my kids, I can say, hey, what do you know about the kindness cards? Or I can be like, did you ever get a kindness card? And I can just start that conversation, because if I don't know about it, and I don't ask my child about it, then they're kind of just like, whatever, kindness card, So I see these coffee talks as an opportunity for me to learn more about what's going on in the school, that I probably wouldn't know of if I didn't attend.
Yeah. And it was Jade who had the question next. Sorry.
I just had not really a question, but some comments. First of all, I do see those kindness cards in my son Alex Lee. He's in first grade backpack, and it's all crumbled up. And honestly, I thought they were just trash. I was about to trash them, so I'm so happy. When one time when I was going through and I was about to trash them, he was like, "No, those are kindness cards." So I really appreciate that. And second thing I want to say is, my son Alex has been working really closely with Miss Nokong, and then I just really want to thank Miss Nokong for all your support throughout the year. He really enjoys you checking in with him, and then the support that you have given, and all the staff. And I just want to say that. So not really question, but just some comment.
Thank you.
That means a lot. I really appreciate that. And I love working with Alex. So it goes both ways.
And Ms. Dokon, I know that in the past years, we've talked about a little bit of oh goodness, if you're in because we have our special ed classes, and Adobe Bluffs was originally noticed for our inclusive practices. In fact, we had our assistant superintendent on campus to walk the campus to learn more about our inclusive practices. We have our neediest students who we know that if they can partake in some great general education opportunities, we do so, like during morning meetings and library time and PE time, so that we're all mixing together, and all of our kids are better for it. We also then started the Mandarin immersion, which is amazing. Jade, the great thing is that Miss Nokon also has this incredible way of, it doesn't matter what program you're in, she brings them all together, whether it's groups that she's working with, whether it's a message that she wants to communicate that's age appropriate, like to all first graders, for example. Then she's very strategic about that as well. And throughout the year, she works in small groups too with our students. We help empower our students, because it's not just about the academics. The academics come along also when social emotionally and things are right with friends and everything else. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
I was just wondering what's I think this is, Ms. Nokon, you mentioned this is the first week that Adobe Bluffs is having a kindness week.
The
first year. Is this the first year?
No, I know that from what I've heard, that we've had kindness weeks in the past. I know that because of just COVID and the pandemic, the past 2 years, it's been a little bit more challenging to implement one. But I think this is the first one where we actually have a big assembly to kick it off and to build excitement throughout the week. So we really appreciate PTA for partnering with us on that and sponsoring it. So I think it's going to be hopefully one of the best, kindness weeks yet. And then to answer, also going back to Nicole's question about the kindness tickets and maybe 4th and 5th grade not feeling as part of that. Part of this week is going to be this bingo kindness challenge with some very specific things that we'd like kids to be working on throughout the week. And then they're going to be submitting those to be put into a drawing to come to Miss Peterson's kindness cart. So they're going to definitely have that opportunity to be recognized as well.
Another thing we're going to do differently next week is that we don't use our, it's the public address system, like the PA system where my phone and Miss Teresa's phone, it's connected to all the speakers in the classrooms. I think of the old movie Great Grease. I loved it when they go over the loudspeaker. We don't do that. We kind of have the parents be recorded. Parents, teachers show it on Flipgrid in the classrooms, and because we just upload videos for them to do that. But now, like, we just thought for Kindness Week, it would be special. We are going to have the announcements every morning after the school bell rings. It's going to inspire kids to get to school on time too. Then you'll hear us come on ding, ding, ding on the. So I think that will be something different too. And the kids will be extra motivated.
Exciting.
Yeah.
So fun.
I also wanted to add a little bit about why we were kind of persistent about getting an assembly going. And I know there's been some mixed feelings with COVID and mixing grades and so forth. So we did keep the kids, they will be with the same lunchtime groups. It will be outdoors, the classrooms will be spread out. But one of the reasons I felt so passionately about this is that there's been so much research about, like, our kids are doing okay, but it's that okay piece that can be concerning, that by missing out on some of these things that are such a important part of school, like assemblies, like field trips, those types of things that are what we consider, normal experiences for kids, that over time that can have an impact. So I just love that this is going to really give them that sense of, like, we're getting back to normal, we're on the right track. It's really about also giving everyone a continued sense of hope too. So that's why I kept kind of pushing PTA on this. Like, yes, we really should try to make this happen. It might seem like, well, the kids are just going to be dancing, it's 45 minutes, but it's not just that. It's that whole experience, I think, is super important.
Lily, I agree. I mean, I don't know how many of you attended the talent show last Friday, but to see that, it was huge. And just to see how people showed up with their chairs, with their blankets, and the kids had a blast showing off their talents. After 2 years of not having a talent show and being together in person, you could see that it was needed. And then also just seeing how supportive the kids were to each other. You could see them cheering each other on the sidelines, like, you got this, don't be nervous, giving them high fives, hugging each other after they were done, even if they weren't performing. I mean, for me as a parent, it was beautiful to see. And so I'm glad that we were able to have that experience and then also continue that experience with the Happiness Now Assembly. So thank you for pushing us. I really appreciate it.
Now, since Miss Lee is on, and you don't have to turn on your camera, Miss Lee, but let me just give the last couple updates, a few minutes on some of the great things that are happening in Mandarin in our FLUS program. We are the only school that has a school-wide FLUS program. Exciting things are also happening in our Mandarin and FLUS program as we really take a look at what is our vision for FLUS. Beyond language and culture and Mandarin language and culture, but how to tie it strategically. Like Brenda, we started it, we kind of thought, like, wouldn't arts attack combine perfectly during Lunar New Year with, all that we're doing school-wide, not just for the immersion students. So we really have a greater vision, and we had a school-wide instructional leaders group discuss that next year we really want to strategically tie some FLUS lessons to not only the arts attack, but to our science lessons, so we have a bigger, broader goal that it's not going to be these isolated chunks, but that it's going to support all our curriculum. And even in the Mandarin course, the immersion program, we have aligned the different subject area of expertise, and we're looking at some different, programs and apps possibly to see what else we can do to enhance. And I think the greatest news that we heard from the state is that they're really going to recognize and acknowledge not just the kids in our immersion program, but even the kids who are in our FLUS program for working at another language in the elementary school level, because that is a newer concept that we want to promote school statewide. And so there are going to be special recognition for students and schools that, and certificates that will be awarded to students and schools who are actively engaged in English, but also another language. And you know what? Every one of your students qualify for that because they all have lesser immersion. So we have some really exciting things coming up in the next month that we're going to be able to pan out and share with you. So I know we're at the 9 o'clock mark and Miss Lee is here. So thank you for just tuning in with us. We always love seeing you. Any final questions? I think we're closing, right, Miss? Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so I'll just close by thanking everybody, and I'll share my screen really quick, just about some reminders for you to stay on top of. Family Art Night is coming up on April 22nd, so more details will be coming up on that. And then also,
Brenda, do you have something up? Because I don't see it.
You don't see it?
Does anyone else not see it? Okay, no one's seeing it.
How do you see it?
Not yet.
No.
Oh my goodness.
We just see blackness.
Yes, that's what I see too.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well, I'll send it up, but it was on the newsletter. I have 2 screens, and so let me see. Let me try it one more time. So let me do stop share. I know we're at time, so I'll just it was on the newsletter. But let's see if that works. Did that work? And if it doesn't work, I'll just tell you the updates.
Yes.
That works out. You can see the Family Art Night.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's great. Thank you.
Good, you're not thinking my Sephora screen over here. Okay, so Family Art Night is on April 22nd. The book fair is April 25th to the 29th. Mark your calendars. We're having a Rubio's fundraiser on May 2nd from 2 to 6 p.m. Last year, we hit about $750 for the school. So we'd like to increase that by maybe like 1,200. So just mark your calendars. And then Staff Appreciation Week is May 2nd through the 6th. So you'll hear more information about that. So just mark your calendars. If you aren't getting these newsletters, you can send us a message at abesptapresident@gmail.com or contact Lisa, who's on the call today, or any of us, and we can make sure you're getting the newsletters. And last but not least, we are going to have an in-person coffee talk on April 28th. So mark your calendars for that. It's the last Thursday, I believe, in April. It'll be in the NPR room. We're planning some fun activities for you. So it'll be from 8 to 9 a.m. So in-person coffee talk, April 28th, Thursday in the NPR. And with that, I think we can wrap. It's 9:01 a.m. Thank you so much for being with us today, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Bye.